How many of you have cousins? Great. How many of you have siblings, brothers and sisters? Good. Last question. How many of you aspire to have children? Cool. Oh, awesome. I want to let you all know something. Every minute of the day, a woman or a child is sold into this modern form of slavery. Today, I would like to talk to you about human trafficking because this issue is going on all around the world. Many innocent victims are severely trapped in this form of slavery. After listening to my speech, you will know what human trafficking is, who it is happening to, and the legal consequences of human trafficking. Many of you may not be familiar with human trafficking, so this brings me to my first point. What is human trafficking? According to sex trafficking, the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons by means of the threat or use of force or other forms of coercion, of abduction, of fraud, of deception, of the abuse of power or position of vulnerability, or of the giving or receiving of payments of benefits for the purpose of exploitation. According to human trafficking, the crimes may include sex trafficking such as being forced into prostitution, or trafficking which victims, mostly undocumented immigrants, are forced into labor. According to human trafficking in U.S. cities, sexually oriented businesses is the second largest and fastest growing criminal industry in the world. So I've explained what human trafficking is, but who is affected by it? Who is it happening to? According to the Global Institutes to Fight Human Trafficking, the majority of trafficking victims are between 18 and 24 years old. 95% of victims experience physical or sexual violence during trafficking, and 43% of victims are used for the forced commercial sexual exploitation, of whom 98% are women and girls. In Texas, the Office of Attorney General reports between 2007 and 2012, it identified almost 700 human trafficking related incidents involving almost 800 victims. About half the victims were not U.S. citizens, while the other half were Americans being trafficked domestically. Almost half of the victims were children. So I've explained what human trafficking is, who it's happening to. Now I would like to share with you the legal consequences of human trafficking. According to human trafficking penalties, initiatives statute increases criminal penalties for human trafficking, including prison sentences up to 15 years to life and fines up to $1,500,000. It also states, under existing state law, most offenders who have been convicted of sex crime, including some crimes involving human trafficking, are required to register as sex offenders. According to the Human Trafficking Penalties Initiative statute, specifically, state law defines human trafficking as violating the liberty of a person with the intent to either 1, commit certain felony crimes such as prostitution, or 2, obtain forced labor or services. Human trafficking is punishable under state law by a prison sentence up to 5 years, or if the victim is under the age of 18, by a state prison sentence up to 8 years. Offenders convicted of human trafficking crimes that result in great bodily injury to the victim can be punished with additional terms up to 6 years. As you can see, human trafficking happens all over the world. I have discussed what human trafficking is, who it is happening to, and the legal consequences of human trafficking to remind us of this serious matter and to inform us to remain aware of this modern form of slavery. Thank you.